The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble! You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, he's our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
When the hell did they go from a 16-ounce regular pint to 14.9 ounces?
that's
look at my cup. It's empty.
Yeah.
It's empty.
Inflation. Let's
This
go,
isn't gonna
Brandon.
do anything.
Look, you should have known when the supply chain was an issue. Like that's what's gonna happen. The same thing happened to Gatorade, but you don't hear me crying about it. They're like 30 ounces now, 28 ounces now.
And those dulcet tones that you're hearing, that's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler, and resident strongman, Moses Man.
Heck says he cries about Gatorade.
Shout out to Hecht. He's in chat. We'll bring your chat comments directly out of chat into the show. Hecht said, the return of Jay. I agree. It's good to have you on, Jay. It's been many, many moons.
Oh, thank
He
you.
finally
It's good to be here.
He finished that MMO.
He finished that. He got to the end of the world. That's it. Jay's like, I got trapped in the game for 3 weeks, and I think I'm going to stop playing. As for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. Despite the sabotage of some of us on the show, it's still going to be fantastic because we're going to be talking to you all about Adult Swim's Yule Log, and we're also going to be talking to you all about Night of the Chihuahuas. And friggin' whatever else we all want to talk about, and we'll tell you how it is. You can let us know what it is. We'll tell you how it is. You can do that in just a moment. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. Hope you're doing well, good sir. And if you want to get down with Fantastic Forum, here's how you do it.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
FantasticForum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Oz
There
Oz holds now the Guinness World Record for biggest disappointment when opening a beer.
Well, I thought you were going to talk about the box. Look, all I know is in America, it's still 12 ounces.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
This is an import. This is American. We're not sponsored, so I'm blocking it.
We all know it's Bush. You love Bush. You don't like it shaved.
Just the apple.
Wait, what happened now? What? Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, so the peak prevents the vid. Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll take your comments out of this chat, bring them into the show. Which I said we had Hecht with a witty chat comment. Oh, we got Tiger Claw with another witty chat comment. What's up, Fantastic Forum? You heard the news? Henry Cavill no longer Superman. James Gunn wants to go with a younger version. I have not heard that. Is that real? Because I know that there was like some folks trying to say that James Gunn hates Henry Cavill like over the weekend, right? And he shut that down, or was that?
Gunn said that he. Oh no, I get. Well, this is a new story. 51 minutes ago. God. Let me have a beer, Tiger Claw.
So Henry Cavill is out.
Headline from Variety: James Gunn writing new Superman film. Henry Cavill will not return, but eyed to play a different DC character.
That's interesting. So that's how he says, "Oh no, I still like him. He's still going to be in the movies, but he's not Superman."
I mean, supposition wise, that could be like, any one of us nerds can think of like, oh man, he could be Ultraman. You got the Earth 3, like, but I don't know. I think they're trying to, he's asserting his dominance, and I know earlier last week, not
Who's
earlier,
that,
but like,
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
James, yeah, it's like, look, you can't have your last name be Gunn and have arms like those. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to assert it through CEOism. And but yeah, he shelved Wonder Woman, pretty much whatever little bit of DCEU they had left. Getting rid of that, and that was the report of Hollywood Reporter. He then went on Twitter and said something like, "Oh, that report you guys saw from an unnamed source, it's partly true, but partly false too, and it's a little different, and details to come." And then there's other details like this coming out because there's people within the know kind of talking stuff. But there's also a news story where he's trying to get that Batgirl movie released.
Like, wait a minute. Like, I feel like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel for the people that were in and that created the Batgirl movie, and I feel like their work should be seen if it's done. That would be nice for them. I understand that from a business perspective, that might not bode well for the company. I don't know, but if there's a way to do it, it would be nice for the people to be able to see it. But
I can't see it
that
being
that feels like the wrong fight to pick. Like, why the Batgirl movie? Like, it feels like everybody, or not everybody, but there's a vocal. Like, I mean, actually, I feel like it's like a good number of the fans wanted Henry Cavill to be Superman. Not everybody necessarily wanted him to be like Snyder's Superman.
When Black Adam came out, the biggest news was the 5 seconds Henry Cavill was in it, in the costume.
Right.
And supposedly he was shooting stuff for another movie. I think The Flash. He was shooting some stuff for that. Supposedly. I don't know. Now, like, this was before I even knew this news. So I don't know. The world is upside down. My beer is no longer a pint.
Right. It's true.
The leading white supremacist is a Hispanic guy.
I don't even know which one we're on yet.
What is this right here? Let's see.
It's the horse's mouth. James Gunn's tweets. He says, among those on the slate is Superman. In the initial stages, our story will be focusing on an earlier part of Superman's life, so the character will not be played by Henry Cavill. But we just had a great meeting with Henry, and we're big fans, and we talked about a number of exciting possibilities to work together in the future.
Maybe they should give her a Levy and make him Shazam.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't. If Henry Cavill's not playing Superman, I don't know if I want to see him in DC stuff.
Look, bring him to Marvel.
Yeah, make him Captain Britain.
Yeah,
Make him Captain Britain.
Yeah, he's already got the accent, right?
Hey, look, I resent Tiger Claw. Like, I usually love Tiger Claw, but he's saying like Henry Cavill's in his 40s now. Like, that's not true.
I don't know how old he is, but it doesn't matter.
I know exactly how old he is. He's 39 years old. Same as me.
He's practically a baby.
Yeah. He's a young buck.
I was like, it doesn't matter.
He's a young virile man like me.
What he looks like is what matters, not how old he is.
Right. Wait a minute.
Like, Henry Cavill looks like he can be Superman.
I mean, all I have to do.
Like, you don't look like
Add extra padding to the suit every year. Every year that he can't keep up that size, just add a little bit more padding.
I can keep
like,
it up.
yeah, I like Henry Cavill's not that big that it's like he's can't maintain that. I don't think it just feels like.
Well, the thing is, he's
Wait,
got
He was born on your birthday?
yeah, same year, everything. I think even like an hour apart. I might be.
Oh, you
over
guys
by-
are twins.
Yeah.
Twinsies.
Yeah, that's why
Oh,
we look
like
the same.
Schwarzenegger and DeVito.
Yeah, exactly. But don't call him DeVito. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like that.
He doesn't like
that.
it when you call him DeVito. I got it. That makes
Call him
sense.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that there are people out there that have never seen twins.
Yeah,
It's true.
I try
They don't
not
even
to,
know it exists.
I try
Yeah.
not to talk to those people.
Listen, there are people right now that are like, listen to that. He's like, they're probably like, DeVito. Who is DeVito?
The
Again,
red
yeah,
M&M.
that's why we don't have that many followers, because I delete those people before they.
Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So, well, we'll see what happens, man. I know that, he got into a little thing with Den of Nerds or something like that because they're saying he didn't like him. But, I guess, I don't know. Maybe what they're hearing is these rumors and they're like, oh, Cavill's out. So, who knows? Like, it'll be interesting to see what James Gunn's vision of the DC universe for cinema ends up being. Like,
I hate how like good you are, Larry. Like
what?
Just like I like a good person. Like you're like it's interesting to see because I mean you know what he's done that you like and didn't like. Like you have there's definite groundwork for you to really just say like it's gonna be fun to see him shit on DC further.
Well, but his DC stuff has been pretty good.
Right, when he didn't have any responsibility and nobody was watching him. Now the dude from Discovery is like, "Hey, you better make me some money, fucker." And that he had the Deadpool effect. Like they let him do his thing, and he did it with Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, and now I call it the Jim Lee effect.
Right, I was thinking that too.
He is going from, hey, here's some characters that nobody really cares about. Well, I mean, obviously you got Harley in Suicide Squad, but you also got Peacemaker, like good people, guys that people never even heard of. Do what you want, have at it. Just do this with Harley Quinn because money, and the rest whatever you want. And he did great. Yeah. Now he's dealing with the big guns. Now he's literally fucking with the Trinity. It's like somebody gave the new Pope, just rewrite the Bible.
I wonder with him saying earlier in Superman's life, I wonder if they're gonna like try to revisit or not revisit, but try to imagine some of that like New 52 stuff. Do you think he'll do like the jeans and t-shirt Superman?
I hope not.
That's probably what will happen. Like,
yeah, I can totally see James Gunn reading that or coming across that and being like, oh yeah, like I would love to do that.
Like I got a little excited right now when I saw that, where I'm like, man, are we gonna get like, are we just not gonna have Superman movies? Are we just gonna have like Legion of Superheroes with Superboy in it? And that's like their Avengers. That's what they're banking on as their superhero team. Like not even Justice League, but like a Legion. And well, they have a crossover with Star Trek.
No.
Like
yes,
that's where, like I started getting in that little minute that you guys showed me that horse's mouth tweet. Like that's what went through my mind, and I'm like, for a little bit.
That and the THC.
No, I haven't smoked in 4 hours.
That's probably the problem.
Oh man.
No, so they need a younger Superman because they have a younger Batman, and the only disappointing thing for me is that I'm worried about Gal Gadot. Because
who's the younger Batman? Pattinson?
Yeah, he's a year 2 Batman. Like age wise, like Pattinson's like what 60 now, but
and Robert Pattinson definitely looks like young. Like he still looks
I think
pretty
he's
young.
on my birthday too. I think.
No, are you serious?
He's
I
Eddie
think
Murphy.
so.
No, he was on the 13th of
Oh,
May.
okay. What
Oh,
year?
but all
He was
so
born
long
in
longer.
86.
Ah, pussy. He's not little. Yeah, little. Yeah.
He just held on longer because he didn't want to be in the
He's lazy. Lazy. He went into the
Oh.
36th trimester.
There's so much pain out there. I can't go.
yeah.
Life is pain. I don't
Um,
understand.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see how it all turns out. Because I let me put it like this: I have much more faith in Gunn's ability to make the DCEU or whatever comes after the DCEU more interesting and like I guess potentially cohesive than I do like him like landing this Guardians 3 for me. For me, like for the rest of y'all, I'm sure y'all all love it, but
I mean,
Right.
I'm not gonna like. I literally like.
Gonna
I finally got to like see a game on Snap with Ego, and I'm like, man, this is way better than Guardians 2. Like those, and really, like, I don't want like when it comes to James Gunn, like I'm really like, I don't care about any sensible, common sense rhetoric when it comes to gun control. Like, fucking ban his ass, get him away from these kids. You know what I mean? Like, keep them away from my
for
movies.
these kids.
Yeah, like I'm all for gun control when it comes to James Gunn. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like I don't, no semi-automatic, none of that shit. Fuck that. Get them away from the kids. Because yeah, I don't trust him to do anything right by me. But again, by me doesn't mean anything because like I like what I like, and
Right.
maybe look, I don't know. Yeah, again, like if the movies make money, the movies make money.
Right.
Yeah. What now I would love to consult and be like, hey, just don't do it like this. No, not like that. You can get rid of that and still have a good movie, but do it this way and we'll have a better movie.
Can you imagine Moses as the consultant and like sending back the scripts with notes and it just says
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Look,
It's like, hey
I
Moses,
seem
I
to
was
have
reading your notes here and it says geeky. It says not like that. Can you not like that? If I wrote a script and somebody sent me a note back on the script like not like that, I would be like, dude, who is this person? What does that mean?
Actually,
your wish is my command. Next production text you get, that's how I'm gonna reply to your suggestion.
Not like that.
The way I picture Mo's notes is like whatever he doesn't like, there'll be a comic book page like glue, like put on top of it and just says like this.
Look, Moses' notes will just be a poop emoji. Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Emoji? It's gonna be my DNA.
Oh my god.
I don't use no red Sharpie. I use a brown Moe.
Like the image that came into my mind is just like, oh my god.
But look, that's not that far fetched now, Larry. There is a new story now that we're gonna get more Marvel special presentations, and
I did see that.
I think I am instrumental in those.
I think you are too.
I not only did I get this fool renewed for season 2, because that happened the same way that I told them to, and then now like that's it. I have an in, and through my business and business savvy, I say, hey man, just tell him this. Just say it. I say it. Just say it like that. Just say, oh, he says. And sure enough, we got season 2 of this fool, and now the news story says we're getting Marvel special presentations. The way I told them was like, I want a Valentine's Day one, I want a Veterans Day one, I want a Memorial Day one, I want a Arbor Day one. Give me as many as you want because that's a way to expand the universe as a whole. But you can also just give us little one-off stories that don't really affect the grand narrative, but can add to it. And
Right.
to me, I told them it's like reading those in between comics. And as a
Yeah.
comic fan, and even the shit I hate about the MCU, those in between stuff I can enjoy based on what they've done, but it just adds a little to it. It keeps me buying comics when there's in between hiatus. Yeah, like if
Right.
Saga had those, I'd like it even better. Like in between the Saga special presentation comics one shots, I'm in.
That'd be cool.
You know, and Saga is dense when it comes to the world building. Like you never feel like you're
100%.
missing enough story, but a special
Mhm.
presentation would be nice.
It
And then
would
sure
be.
enough, within 3 days, our sources say they're giving us more special presentations. Like right after that meeting, like yeah, you're welcome.
There it is. Mo out here, friggin' guiding the culture. I'm not
I mean,
mad at it.
I'm spreading it like a cancer.
I almost missed the show today.
What
I'm glad I'm here.
happened?
But I was playing Marvel's Midnight Suns, and the game itself is fantastic. Or I should say this: I like it. I can't call it fantastic because I'm still early in it. But what happened specifically that I'm like, oh, because I didn't like fully realize, and I know that we talked about it, but or maybe the better way is I had forgotten. But much like in XCOM 2, when you finish missions, you can make propaganda posters. In Marvel's Midnight Suns, when you finish a mission, you can make your own comic book covers. And they're like fully customizable comic book covers. And so I'm pretty sure that I spent twice as much time messing with that comic book cover than I did playing the game. Just because I was like, oh. And when I say, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like you can do whatever you want, but it basically, they give you, like, wait, actually, you know what? Oh, no, you know what? I don't. Let me see if I can pull
pictures. I'm glad you.
Yeah,
I'm glad you took the time to take a picture and get them ready for the show.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was thinking that I got it on Xbox, and I was thinking it was going to be a thing where, like, maybe similar to, like, how I can do in Splatoon, where, like, I can, like, tweet out of like video or a picture from my console. I thought that was going to be something that I can do, or at least send it to my email or something like that. But it turned out that wasn't the case.
Well, you can, but if you record it ahead of time, like you hit the record button and it'll give you like you could do it up to the last 5 minutes, the previous 5 minutes, and it'll be in your OneDrive.
Oh, so I couldn't, like, I would have had to, like, it would literally have to have been a thing where I make it almost like a video.
I think that's how my experience with Xbox. That's how it is with PlayStation 4. It wasn't like I could take screenshots and everything and do it little by little, and it's very like that. That's the one thing that it had better than Xbox for me was the ability to do that. But yeah, as far as Xbox goes, I think it's like you hit the record button and you could just tell it like, oh, the last 5 minutes or the depending, like you could literally like just had a 5-minute video of you like tweaking that cover. and we could see that. But it would have been in your OneDrive, and if you don't have OneDrive on your computer, you wouldn't be able to access it. It's fairly fast, like the way it uploads to that OneDrive cloud. It's really fast. I wouldn't be able to edit how I do and things like that with the show, like if I didn't have OneDrive, because it's a lot faster than Google Drive. Real quick in chat, the Tiger Claw says, "Doesn't Midnight Suns play like XCOM? Does it have permadeath? Like you could lose a character or hero forever in the game?"
It does not.
No, they just go unconscious, and then they're like hurt for a certain amount of time, so it takes a while for them to like be able to be fully used or something like that.
Can y'all see that? Yeah, you can see that. Okay.
That's your cover?
So that's the cover. And so looking at that, right?
Yeah.
Every part of that cover is customizable. Like I can control which of those characters, like those are the 3 characters that I actually played the mission with. Doctor Strange, Blade, and the Hunter, right? That's my version of the Hunter. But I can control, like, say, for instance, I could take all those poses. If I wanted to make Doctor Strange bigger, I can make him bigger and pull him further into the foreground. I can make him smaller, put him into the background, and put Blade and the Hunter in the foreground instead. I could change those words. I could change the Doctor Strange logo, because there's multiple Doctor Strange logos in it that they have or whatever. I can make that bigger, smaller.
Like this is what you chose as your finished product?
It's not what I chose as my finished product. It's what I had when I was like, oh schmack, I gotta go do the show.
Oh, okay. Because like, I mean, I'm no Bob Harris, you know, but it's like, come on, man, push that Doctor Strange back. I want to see both his hands lighting up. Like, why are you hiding that? Yeah.
No, and understand that, like I said, this was definitely like in the middle. But what I can't show you, and this is probably a testament to what you were talking about, where you can take the video. His hands and the lights, like on his arms and stuff, have a lighting effect that's animated. So the magic around, like the little piece of magic you can barely see in the bottom right-hand corner, that actually moves. And the light that goes up and down his arms move. But you can customize that background. You can customize like instead of the barcode down there at the bottom left corner, you could put the Spider-Man if you wanted to put that. Nice. You can put a different thing, a different damn, I can't remember what the name of that thing is. It's not letterbox, but the thing in the top left-hand corner. Like you can customize that, put a different character and all that kind of stuff. You can write your own messages there. You can put filters on it. You can adjust the lighting. You can pose differently each of those characters. You can change their facial expressions. Like it's crazy how deep it goes. Like I saw there's like filters and stuff. Like you can do one that's like pixelated. You can do one in sepia. Like you can make a white cover. Like it's crazy.
I'm buying the game.
You can make a white cover, but it's just like I was like, wow, like I'm really into this, and I'm like it kind of blew my mind because I was just like, there's no like this is not the game. This is just like what you use to commemorate the mission. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. That's it. Like this was, like I said, and I hadn't even gotten to the point where I was like, oh, let me mess with the words and all that kind of stuff yet. I was just like messing with just the characters and the lighting and just like trying it all out. And when I was like, oh, wait, I can change the logos. I was like, oh man. Like, I was like, oh, wait, like it's crazy. You can change the background. You can do everything. But I was like, this is like, I didn't even know I wanted to do that. You know what I mean? Like I had no idea that I wanted to be like friggin' making comic book covers, but I do. I do. At least in the way that Midnight Suns is letting me do it. Let me say it like that, because Lord knows I don't want to be actually sitting somewhere drawing an amazing cover, because I don't know that I have that kind of talent, let alone time. But damn,
Well, you only
it's
get
fun.
there by putting in that time.
No, I agree with you, and there was a moment in time when I definitely probably there was a fork in the road where I probably could have been that person if I had stuck with it and put in the time. But man, it's cool just to it is the same way how when I play DJ Hero and you get to kind of fulfill like a fantasy. It's like I'm not actually DJing, but it kind of feels like it. It's like I'm not actually making a comic book cover, but it kind of feels like it, and that's awesome. So yeah, it's a good game. It doesn't play like XCOM because one is card based, which is a whole different thing, and that's actually really interesting. Like it adds a whole different dynamic. Yeah. All your attacks and like all your actions are, well, actually all of them, but the majority of your actions are based on a deck that you create of different kinds of moves. Like some of them are healing, some of them are, like heroic feats, some of them are just like straight attacks, and you get a certain number of moves. Or not moves, but you get one move, but you get like 3 card plays, and card plays also can move your character through the environment and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, I'm early on, and I've only played. Let's see, I've played with Iron Man, I've played with Doctor Strange, I've played with Blade, and that's it. And then of course the Hunter. I should mention the Hunter. But but I've seen like Nico and Magic and Ghost Rider already too. And I got to fight Venom, which was awesome. Oh, and I saw Spider-Man. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's definitely much more the game that I thought. Like the game, this is much closer to the game I thought I was going to be getting from Square Enix when they were like, "Oh, we're going to make a Marvel game." I'm like, "Oh, that's going to be great!" And then they gave us Marvel's Avengers, and it was like, "Oh, this is not great."
I think like Avengers. I've been playing Gears Tactics.
Oh, dude, I hear that game is great.
Yeah, I love it. Like you're essentially
do you really, or you just say that?
Yeah. No, I do. I like it a lot.
Cool. I wasn't sure if you're being facetious or what.
No. Look, I have that same problem on Twitter. People don't know if I'm being facetious, and like I'm not even sure what I know what facetious means. But I'm like, if I could spell it, I would have told that guy, "Hey, man, why don't you look up the word facetious in the dictionary?" But anyway, yeah, I really did enjoy it. I played through the tutorial, and it was a fun experience. And it's like it's like playing Gears 5 because they use the same assets.
Right.
So it feels like I'm going through the same missions I already did, but in a different way from a different perspective. And I guess the story does play off like a different point in time. So like maybe right before I got to it in Gears 5 or slightly after. And and that's kind of where like when talking about like XCOM or what a Marvel game would be like that's like Marvel Ultimate Alliance is one of like the quintessential Marvel games where you feel like you're doing superhero-y things. Just it's not that's what you think of a modern game with that type of like weight because of the characters would be. But I think that Gears Tactics gameplay, the way they do it, I think for Marvel would fit because even the way you strategize battle, like I never with Gears of War, I never really strategize. I let my dudes do the strategizing, and I'll just go for the headshots and or the chainsaw.
The chainsaw,
I don't mind running in and dying, but But yeah, and in this one, it like the strategy, like depending on what type of character you have in your little team, like you have a Fantastic
Mm-hmm.
Four or X-Men Gold, or X-Men Blue, like
Mm-hmm.
just with X-Men alone, it'd be a great game because every depending on what team you make, you can play the game a little differently if they actually put in
Yeah.
that thought. With Gears, it's a little different, but yeah, I mean they all have similar weapons and similar military training, so the game is fairly the same depending on what characters you have so far. But I can see like that innovation in it, like if you make a alternate Fantastic Four or a Future Foundation or
Mm-hmm.
FF, like just with Fantastic
Mm-hmm.
Four as an example, you get these 4 or 5 different iterations of it, and you can
Right.
it'll be a different game. It would be 5 different games depending on which ones you play. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like what I thought. Well, Midnight Suns would kind of be, but I just didn't like that it was Midnight Suns.
Right.
But I mean,
Right.
yeah, it was. Not that I didn't like it. I just didn't know. Like when you hear the term Midnight Suns, you think something, and then when you see that footage, is different. But it's suns,
Yeah.
not sun. So
Right.
then it's
Well,
okay for some.
yeah, they're trying to be inclusive.
Yeah, I guess. I guess they're
Mo-
Norwegian or something. What
I
are you saying
mean,
there?
I think it's more of a prophetic kind of thing, but I haven't gotten that far into the game yet to know. I think it is like some sort of prophecy, but it's yeah. Like what I can say is this: is that it does a good job of giving you the strategic element while also simultaneously uh like helping you to have the superhero fantasy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it's like it does a thing where like you know like Doctor Strange uses like his spells. You know what I'm saying? Like I use the winds of a tomb. You know what I mean? Like, and that's like at the very beginning of the game before I've even gotten like I haven't even gotten the ability at this point to like even potentially get like new cards or anything like that. Like I think I have to go to the Abbey first before I can even
Mhm.
like start really having additional cards, and then when I get the additional cards, then I can modify my deck in order to like have it lean towards different actions because you each particular hero has their own deck for like actions that you create or that you can create, like not that you really have to. They'll make it for you if you want to, but if you want to customize it yourself, you can do that. And then they just kind of mix those decks together when you go out on the missions, and you'll see what comes up. So then, yeah, but like, and Blade, for instance, like has like this cool like chain kind of attack where he can attack like 2 different enemies, and but he moves with like that vampiric kind of speed, and it's pretty cool. Like I'm like, man, like this is gonna work. This is gonna work for me. I like it, and the
Yeah.
RPG aspect of it feels very like Marvel, very Marvel-y. Like like I don't know how good the story is gonna end up being. I've heard some people say they like it a lot, and other people say that it's pretty generic. But I think as a Marvel fan, I think I'm gonna enjoy it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sir John in chat says, "Hello, fellas. Have you seen anything interesting lately?" And
Oh,
the
I've
most
seen a lot of
interesting I've
interesting
seen,
things.
yeah, but for me, the most has been that Across the Spider Verse trailer.
Mm. How'd
And
y'all like that,
I
Mo?
don't like you sending it to me that early, Larry. Like
Why?
I don't want to get all emotional that early in the morning. Like I'm over here
Yeah, man.
driving. But yeah, it's just when you're a little kid and you see these things in vivid color like that in motion,
Yeah,
it's really, like it's striking. We're old fucks, so we're used to seeing things static
yeah.
like this, and watching the live action has
Right.
that effect to a certain degree. But that movie and the animation style that they did just does it so perfectly, where it's like you're reading a comic book that's moving, and even if you're
Right.
not trying to get emotional, your eyes aren't gonna blink because you're not missing a frame. And and then
Yeah.
just seeing all these like Spider-Men and Spidersmen, it's like
Yeah.
it's fucking nuts, and it makes me hate Jonathan Hickman and Dan Slott. Like,
Why do you hate them?
cause
Oh, because
they
of the multiversal thing.
yeah, well, they did that, but even like the way, like, yeah, the whole Spider Verse, like, you can't really have that without Dan Slott. Period.
Right.
And he did it better. There's been other aspects that they tried to do, whether it's a TV show or Into the Spider Verse, and then there's like the web. Oh, Jay, why are you leaving, man?
Oh,
What the fuck? I'm trying to get his opinion. I'm working up towards that, and he leaves. But then you got Jonathan Hickman, where we've seen the Council of Parkers,
mhm,
and then this movie kind of like it with a little line kind of alludes to that, and it's
mhm,
like I'm like fuck you,
mhm.
Hickman, like it's so good, and yeah, so definitely like this movie, it's already my favorite Spider-Man movie.
It's already like there it is.
Yeah,
The trailer got you.
yeah, I don't think like I mean I love No Way Home. I loved even Far From Home, but No Way
Oh yeah.
Home really better. Like it was hard for me to get into those Spider-Man movies as a
Mhm,
Spider-Man fan, and
mhm.
those two kind of put it together for me where I could, and then um but Into the Spider-Verse was like the first one where I felt like, man, this is my favorite fucking movie, my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and the second one is like, man, now this is my favorite, So
Right.
like all
Right.
the other, the first the Spider-Man movie kind of really like was my favorite one, and then the second one, and now like they just unveiled the new nuclear fusion energy source. And I'm like, man, fuck
Mhm.
you. Dr. Octopus did that in Spider-Man 2. Like the same
y'all late.
yeah, they're like 10, 20 years late. Like the same vocabulary the scientists use unveiling it was what Dr. Otto Octavius, played by Alfred Molina, said in Spider-Man 2. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
but his wasn't stable.
and
That's
look,
true.
look, we don't even know if this one is. Even if it is stable, our infrastructure is all fucked up and we can't even get it. Like we will never be able to use it for like 35 years. So
Right.
yeah, don't give me that shit.
It only
Like
produces 14.9 megajoules.
with that argument, they might as well have just said it right after Dr. Otto Octavius and still been just as innovative. Yeah.
Oz, did you get to see the trailer for it's Edge of Spider-Verse, right?
Yes.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, so is it Across? Jeez, I'm messing around.
Yeah,
Oh, that was the Marvel event, huh?
Edge of Spider-Verse is the Marvel event that they're finishing up now. And
Yeah, right.
but it's Across the Spider-Verse because it's a play on the Beatles album.
What's the Beatles album?
The song Across the Universe.
Oh, okay.
Well, you don't know that, man, Larry?
I might. No, I know the Beatles, but I may not know the song. Well, listen, man, listen. I don't have to be a huge Beatles fan, can I? Like, I could just be a moderate Beatles fan.
I mean, there was a whole movie that won Academy Awards and everything called Across the Universe, and that's the whole.
Were the Beatles
like,
in it?
It was based on the song, and it's like even the whole like I think the movie poster for Across the Spider-Verse is a play on the movie poster for that movie.
What year did it win the Academy Award?
With 2005, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh wait, are you talking about the movie with the guy who was like recreating the
no, that's
songs?
Forever.
Wait, what? That's called Forever?
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
That was
it's
a good
called
movie.
Yesterday.
Oh, okay. I remember that movie, but I don't know what Across the Universe is as a movie. I don't remember that. Did you watch it, Mo?
No, but I don't like the Beatles.
Oh, okay. Well, look, I don't know. Apparently,
More
you do
than-
a little.
I like the Monkeys better.
I do like the Monkeys too. So, Oz, what did you think of Across the Spider Verse trailer?
It looks good. I mean, I like the first movie, so do more of that, which it looks like they did, and
Mhm.
should be good.
Yeah. Jay, you digging it?
Um,
He didn't watch it.
no,
You
I
didn't watch the
watched
trailer,
it.
Jay?
I watched it on my phone. I couldn't really see it that great,
Mm.
and I didn't
But you saw
rewatch it when I
Spiders,
got
man.
home. No, I didn't.
You didn't? Oh, I thought you did.
No, that's what I was asking you guys because you guys are more attentive to details.
I didn't see Spiders,
But
man.
I just really wanted Spider's Man to be in it, so I asked if you guys saw him.
I
saw
saw
the
him, but
dude.
I wanted to see
Okay.
him. My brain
You
filled
gotta
with it.
believe, Jay. If you don't
Yeah.
believe, you won't see him.
I'll watch him when he comes on the big screen.
I saw the dude with the paper bag.
Yeah.
I was like, that's wild. That version of Spider-Man is in there.
Yeah.
I would like feel like that's a deep cut.
Yeah. It really, I don't know. Part of it really hit me, like the narrative of it. Like, he's a kid, and the original Spider-Man comics played on that, but not that he's a kid. He's like a dude trying to be a man, and this is like he's a fucking kid, and that really like it just added a whole layer to this movie in the trailer. I love. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is even almost better than some of the comics I've read. Like just the trailer, So I
Yeah.
like, and I've read Miles Morales comics even from his origin. It didn't feel like this. Reading those,
Yeah.
these movies, these Miles Morales movies are they're hitting it, man. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I will say that there's only a Miles Morales comic every so often that really tugs at the heartstrings the way that this Into the Spider-Verse has done, and it looks like that this Across the Spider-Verse will do. So yeah, I agree with you.
Part of it is the music. Their music producers just really good. Their score is good. The soundtrack is it's not my thing, but they're still good songs. And but the score, like that, just like ominous bass, like boom boom, like the mom's talking about loving him and making sure he's safe, and he's a kid, but he's a kid with spider powers, and it's like boom boom, and then that little bass hitting every time, really just that impending doom, which that's kind of like, especially in the way the Spider-Verse movie went first, it's like he's inheriting the Parker luck along with the mantle, where he's like, he's still a little too young to really balance that life, and he's seen the consequence, like with Prowler, like the way they did Prowler in that movie is fucking amazing, and it's just like he that boom boom, it was the same when the mom's talking to him. That was the same music they were playing when he was about to find out what it costs to be Spider-Man, when he finds out that his uncle is a Prowler, and that's what it plays in the trailer. And I'm like, man, like they're really connecting this shit. Like this shit ain't for kids. What the fuck they showing this shit for kids for? Like this isn't for kids. This is cinema.
Yeah.
Fuck Scorsese. This is cinema. This is
cinema.
This is.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I totally cut into his rant.
No, go ahead.
Do you think the mom knows he's got spider powers?
The way the trailer says it doesn't, and that's what makes it feel more, like, because especially like you know, you had a loving family life, so
I had a
yeah,
family.
you're good. Yeah, like you know, my dad was gone, non-existent, drugs, whatever. My mom was gone because she had to work. She had to put all her bullshit aside to feed us. So she didn't know what was going on with us. And her doing, I'm doing what I'm doing for you. Like, yeah, I get it, but it's like, you know what? If you just worked half as much, I'd grow up to be a more stable type of person, you know. And you know, it's a sacrifice. She's a hero in her own right, but a villain in in her own right for me too. And in that kid, like in that sense, that's what it is. It's like she wants to protect him. She can't because he's growing, and he's like, dude, like it's not about me being a kid and becoming a teenager and growing up. It's like I got superpowers, and I helped save this universe once, and if that's my first main villain, I got to keep doing it again because it's only going to get worse. You know, like that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. You know, and
Yeah.
it's almost like I feel like with Spider-Man, I always kind of felt that parallel, and but with the way they did it in into the Spider-Verse and going into across the universe, it's like it's that Jesus parallel. You know, like like he knows at 12 he's got to save humanity. What kind of pressure does that to a dude going through puberty? You know what I mean? Like he's got to discern what's important to him in that moment and fight his own impulses. Like it's fucking hard, you know.
Yeah.
And that's you know that's what makes this is why I tell fuck Scorsese. This is cinema. They're creating full experiences just every time I see a fucking trailer. Like the trailers themselves are that's you know it's almost like a 360 picture in a sense. Like it's an immersive experience now. Cinema is an immersive experience. It's not waiting to see a movie in a theater with a bunch of other douchebags and then talking about it after. Like this is what cinema is. It's anticipation, teasing. It's foreplay. Like Scorsese probably just does missionary style only, and then he's done, and he doesn't care if she orgasm. Like
Would
the
anyone else
way
like
that
to comment on
the way that
Scorsese's
he the way he's
position?
critical about the way he's the way he's critical about superhero movies. That's like what I get from him. Like superhero movies are about the tease or the build up. The you tease something in one story, bring it out in the other. Like comic books, you know. That's how you get readers month to month. And Marvel seems to be able to do it movie to movie. You know,
Yeah.
even Sony, like, and that's the shitty Marvel. They still meet, you know, people are excited about Morbius. You know, they're excited. They're still excited about Craven. Like, you saw Morbius. Like, why you care about Craven? Like, no, but they're gonna do good with that. They're gonna do wicked, you know. And that's because they've
Yeah.
been fucked by Scorsese their whole life.
Is that why?
Yeah, that's right.
That's hilarious. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all turns out. Like it looks like it's gonna be a really fun movie, man.
Hold on.
Really looks real fun.
Is this movie a two-parter?
Probably.
Because I'm looking at the
No.
poster and it has like a spray painted on it, part 1.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cinema
Breaking news! This is
is
going
the
to be a
team.
two-part movie.
Yeah. This is the blowjob and missionary part, and then you'll get anal after.
Ugh.
Wow. Okay.
You're Catholic. You don't. You know you love anal.
No, but after, like, that's a lot of work.
The who's the villain in the other part? The Tinkerer? I don't know. That felt
If it's
appropriate.
anal, probably.
Tinkler, like he's gonna tinkle on you.
No,
Talking
Tinker.
about- Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about blowjobs and
What?
I hate the
Okay.
show.
Yeah, we should start talking about Adult Swim Yule Log. Y'all, look, I don't even know. We use the movie trailer or the movie? Do we use the movie review? What are we talking about? Yule Logs? Do we?
Yeah.
It's your call, Jay. Yeah.
Yeah, use the movie one.
Okay.
The comic movie or the regular movie?
Regular movie.
I don't think we have a regular movie, but I'll do this one.
Comic book theater. Comic book theater.
It makes me smile
That
every
was
time. Comic book theater. Theater. Jay, why don't you tell us about Adult Swim Yule Log?
Okay. Adult Swim Yule Log. Well, Yule Logs, if you don't know, they're like wood and a fireplace burning, and a lot of places you can stream that instead of using your own fireplace. And Adult Swim came out with one, but like 5 minutes into it, there's a murder, and it pulls out. There's a murder, and then we see a young couple vacationing, and the guy actually records Yule log footage. Like that's his side hustle, is making Yule log recordings. And it turns out that this Yule log was part of a hanging tree, and it's cursed.
Sheesh.
And the boyfriend kind of doesn't think so, but then another group comes in because the cabin is double booked, and then there's like a Southern gentleman in the fire, and he entices the burnout to come into the fire while everyone else is talking, and then he kills his mom, and then the log kills one of the guys while everyone else is in the hot tub, and then they fight the log and the Southern gentleman while trying to survive a serial killer and his mom who are on the loose.
Larry's sigh.
It sounds like there's a lot happening, Jay. Like this is definitely not your typical Yule log.
Correct. This was written and directed by the guy. His name is Casper, I believe.
Holy Ghost.
And he's the guy that did Too Many Cooks, and he did the Cheddar Goblin commercial. And
Okay.
so yeah, it's very surreal. I didn't even mention everything that happens because like I left out the aliens.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's really interesting because if you don't know, Adult Swim has these things called infomercials, and it's basically late night programming that starts off as one thing and normally devolves into something completely different. And that is what they did with this Yule log. They started it off as one thing, and then it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And yeah, like that was the Yule log. And I wanted you guys to watch it, but I guess you felt like you were too big to watch Yule log, or Yule log, you were too fancy to watch a Yule log.
Is that how you felt, Oz? Did you feel too big to watch it?
I felt like after Halloween, it's time to put away the horror and pick up a Bible.
Is that how you feel?
Also,
Gotcha.
16 ounces, America.
America. Listen, I will tell
19
you.
19 ounces.
I didn't have time to make a beer run, so I'm kind of like I'm on my emergency stashes.
You have
What
an
is this?
emergency?
This is
Yeah.
what, maybe like four
Four
ounces, but
Yeah,
You put whiskey in it.
but repeated though, repeatedly.
Yeah.
There it is.
Larry,
I
why don't
was
you tell
fully
the
prepared.
people? What? Yeah, sorry, Larry. I was gonna tease
No,
the
you had it.
people,
Well,
but
yeah.
I
I'll tell
want
people.
when Joe said the Yule log, I thought it was an actual Yule log because it is Christmas time. Now, there's a
Yeah.
Halloween one that I watch constantly every Halloween, and it's the pumpkin, the burning pumpkin on Shutter.
Yeah,
And
that one's
it's
scary.
Is it like a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin or just?
yeah, it's a jack o' lantern with the candle in it, and you just watch it for 24 hours. Like I just leave it on all the time.
That's cool. I like that.
And it has
Yeah.
jump scares in it.
It has it in it.
Ugh.
Yeah, if you stick with it long enough, yeah, you'll be putting on your clothes and something happens. Like, ah, shit. Yeah, but
That
yeah,
sounds
I love
terrible.
it. Yeah, I have it like it starts like late September, and I just have it going all through October. Um, in my house. But yeah, and so Larry
In
was.
my house.
I told Larry, he goes, "What are we talking about tonight?" He's like, "I don't know. I mean, we might grab back." And I'm like, "Look." He said whatever Joe said, and I'm like, yeah, that Yule log. It's just a Yule log. Like, it's just a log on fire. I had only watched 2 minutes of it, and then I'm like, you know what? When I got home, I got in the right state of mind where I'm like, you know what, Jay. If Jay said it, like, I gotta keep at it. Like, something's gonna happen. And then, sure enough, I'm like, oh my god, this is a full-on murder movie. And yeah, like, and it just keeps. So, but the thing is, all this shit happens just like while you're focusing on the log, and then like 5 minutes in, it pans out a little, and then it pans out. So the camera is just there, and it just, depending on what the story is, it just pans out a little more. So it's not like these things are properly framed. It's just still looking at the. The more extreme it gets, the more it pans out. But it's just looking at focusing on the log on fire. And Emily hated it, but yeah, I loved it.
When I saw the text, I thought the same thing. It's a Yule log. Like I seen the Disney one where what happened. Did I win?
What the fuck?
Did I win? No. Like I seen the Disney one where like characters show up and do stuff. I thought it was gonna be something wacky like that. I did not expect what you all have been describing at all.
It just gets more and more extreme as time goes by.
Yeah. And the funny part is, I'm the one that was like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna watch what Jay told me to watch because I trust Jay," and messed around and got led astray by a wild Moses. He's like, "Oh, it's just a Yule log. Why would you watch that?" He's like, "I'm like, oh, really?" I was like, "That's wild."
The son of the.
And here's the thing. I was like, that feels uncharacteristic of Joe to make a joke like that. Just it doesn't feel like Jay's humor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know Jay, obviously, so I'm just like, oh, but okay, like, like, and I just figured, like, okay, well, Mo knows what he's talking about, and I'm like, yeah.
I do have to add, like he said, I watched the Mean One and Adult Swim's Yule log, so I'm like, in my mind, it's like, okay, he wants us to watch the Mean One. Let's not do that. Let's watch the Yule log. I went with the Yule log, but I do want to see the Mean One, but it's not on demand or anything. Like, I have to go.
I don't know what that is. What's the Mean One?
What saddens me about all this is that it's a horror thing that we almost got Lawrence to watch.
Yeah, and I do. Well, I was going to apologize to Lawrence because I recommended it before I watched it, and if I had seen like the guy getting his skull bashed in and how great that looked,
there's the face.
I would have definitely warned you about it beforehand.
Is it live action or is it animated?
Yeah.
No, live action. Oh. And it's live action in like I want to say maybe 45 frames per second in like, it's almost camcordery, like
Oh God. Yeah.
like One Life to Live, or it looks like a
Yeah.
soap opera. Like it doesn't look like a movie. Like it looks like
Yeah.
soap opera.
It looks like a
So it's
wasted
like
opportunity.
clear.
Is what it looks like.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, look at his
and
face right now. Just thinking about it.
yeah, yeah.
And
I fucked up. I admit I'll take the blame. I fucked up. Like I didn't realize. Like, but realistically, like when did you watch it, Jay?
Watched it yesterday.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Okay, because if it was something that you had watched earlier, like he probably would have watched it before I even talked to him today. You know. So.
yeah. No, like we just had the conversation like yesterday.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Right.
it
Yeah.
yesterday?
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, so it's
Yesterday.
not like yeah, so
Yeah.
there wasn't like a lot of time to really like actually execute. But I was planning on looking at it today, and I was just like, oh well, I'll check it out after. And so I was like, oh, but if it's just if it's
I
just
feel
the
bad
fire.
because I've been programming you since I met you to never question what I say, and now
it's bit you in the backside, Moses.
it finally hurt what we're trying to do
There it
here.
is. I've been telling you to let me be. Stop indoctrinating.
I apologize to the audience.
Yeah.
But realistically, like, yeah, like I love it. I want to have a family viewing of it. Like I want to make my mother watch it, and it's like that like I hope they have it year round. Cause like I'll play that like in the background in family dinner and shit.
That's what you should do. Like you should literally just put it on the TV and don't say anything.
Right. And and then shit just starts happening. Cause that's what happened. Like Emily was, doing her thing, and I'm like, I gotta watch this Yule log, and she's like, it's a Yule log. I'm like, yeah, but Joe said so. Like, Joe's a little weird, man. Like, there's something there. Like, if he said it, I gotta watch it. Like that's literally what I told her. And then sure enough, then I saw credits like Adult Swim Yule log, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, something's gonna happen. And then boom. It's some like Hick saying, "Hey, mama, like I just killed these girls," like you don't see nothing, but you're focusing like on the Yule log burning, and this is murder happening around you. And when you have like a speaker system like I do, like you hear it bouncing off the walls like back here, and it's like, "Pa, pa, I got it, mama, I got him," like shit like that. And they're like, "Yeah, this is my holiday tradition from now on."
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, okay. Like, I look. Is it a thing where we should talk more about it, or should we just rate it? Because it almost sounds like you don't want to spoil it for people. Like you kind of have to like.
Yeah, even though it is one of those things that's best experience. Like, I don't think we could necessarily spoil the experience, but at the same time, it is better to just watch. Like, I'm almost a little disappointed with what forward I had, which I wish someone had just told me to watch the Yule log. And I would have watched it, but no, I knew there was a horror movie attached when I watched it.
Yeah, it's definitely like, if anything, like I want to see reaction videos online or something. Like, yeah, I can't do it with Larry now, but just play it for them and just see their reactions of it, because it starts off like a Yule log. It's shot the same way these high def YouTube Yule log or like white noise things are done. So it's literally like made for you to have it in the background, and then it catches you by surprise. And that alone is, to me, that's an innovative horror, like the where it turns out to be like, I don't even call it a horror movie, because horror movies have to suck you in to scare you. Like this is just happening. Like it could happen with like while you're having martinis with your friends and shit. Yeah, and it could be happening all these murders and shit, and it just keeps getting more and more extreme. And then eventually, like about 3rd hour, when somebody there to ride on the tricks, like, what the fuck is this on TV? Like it is. It's definitely like one of these more Like, fuck Scorsese. This is cinema too. Like, this is a full experience. It's a full fledged experience, and I can't wait to like watch it with a group of people that don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. You should put it on at like the holiday Christmas party.
I'm gonna do it at the barbershop all Christmas. Like, I have my own Christmas metal playlist that I play, but I'm gonna do this instead.
Actually, speaking of Christmas, I actually saw a ugly Christmas sweater that would be perfect for Mo.
Is it the one where it says "Hell chose me"?
No, it's Hail Satan.
Oh,
and it's got the snow.
Yeah,
in the trees.
Yeah, I see
like
that.
I was like, man, I wish I could get that from Mo.
Hell chose me.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's a oh, the band Carnifex. Their first one of their first singles that actually hit big was a song that I didn't choose hell. Hell chose me. And they turned it into a Christmas sweater. And then it sold out. Like the first year sold out big time. Then they made it the second year. Nobody bought it. And then they didn't do it for a couple years. And then I tried to get it, and they sold out before I could get it, like 5 years after the fact. So, yeah. But it's the same. I've seen the Hail Satan one too, and it's a similar design as that. It just says Hell chose me instead of, Hail Satan. No, but Christmas is time of bringing together, and that pushes people apart. That's the one time I don't want to be offensive to people. Is Christmas time. It's about it's a facade of capitalism and kindness through capitalism, but yeah, let's say kindness where we can get it, right?
Right.
Amen. Amen.
So should we rate the Yule log?
Yeah. Yeah. I forget. Oz, did you actually watch it or no? You only watched like the first. You watched like the first few minutes, and you're like, okay, I'm done.
It's a Yule log. I actually have a fireplace. I'm good.
Right. Got it. Got it.
I have a fireplace and murder.
And murder. Right. Right.
But that fireplace can kill you if you don't like clean it.
It almost has.
Oh, jeez. Jay, what would you rate Adult Swim Yule log?
I think I would give it a 5 out of 5. I think the presentation is what puts it to that 5. The effects are decent, actually. Especially, like I said, the guy getting his head like smashed in looks really great. And like the acting is fine. I really like the Southern Gentleman. He was just cool, like evil but cool. And yeah, it's just an overall really enjoyable experience. And I envy the people that watched it on network, just coming down off of the Rick and Morty season finale, thinking they're gonna just watch a Yule log while they like try to process that, and then going like straight into like murders. Like, I envy them.
Is the Rick and Morty finale that amazing? Like, is it like when I say amazing? Like, is it really that? Like, oh,
I mean, if you're high, yeah.
All right.
I mean,
I'm like,
all right.
It's mostly just a promise for the next season.
Okay, I'm in for that. Like the way Rick and Morty's been going for the last like 3 seasons or 2 seasons, like I'm happy that they're working on, because it's almost like they just want to end every time, just in case, So that's hopeful. I can deal with that. I'm happy for that. As for me, like I would give Yule log a 5 as well. Like it took me totally off guard, and if it wasn't for my undying trust for Jay, because he is my best friend and clearly not Larry's. Otherwise, Larry's would have been like, you know what, fuck you, Mo, you're bullshit. If Jay suggested it, it's for a reason. I'm gonna try it out, you know. So yeah, definitely like Jay is my spirit person. I don't want to say animal because I think I'm his animal.
His spirit partner.
Yeah. Like I think I'm more his spirit animal than he would be mine, but you know, that's a whole different thing. That's a different show in and of itself. But but yeah, definitely like it is a 5. Like just how doing a horror movie or yeah, like how he said, like it's just escalation of weird shit in that format is really kind of doing something different, something nobody else is doing, and that alone merits a 5 out of 5. I mean, like that's like P.T. Barnum shit, you know, like just do it, and make it so nobody, you know, they'll talk even if they didn't see it, they'll talk about it, you know. So yeah, I love that. That's 5 out of 5 for me.
Okay.
Larry, what would you rate our review of?
I'd rate Jay's review a 5 out of 5 and yours a 0.5 out of 5.
That's fucked up, man.
Why you gotta leave me astray? No.
Yeah.
Listen, 0.25. 0.25 out of 5, goddamn. No, I love you still, Bo. It happens. It's okay. Like you probably saved me. You probably like I might not even be able to do the show if I've been traumatized like this. Like watching this Yule log and all of a sudden somebody gets their head bashed in. I'm like, oh shit, I don't do this.
The Lord works in mysterious ways. The
Right.
Lord works in mysterious ways.
Right. I might have messed around and friggin' had a little stroke.
So, and out of your cock.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Okay.
I apologize.
No. It's okay. You're finding the line as you should be. No. Let's talk about Night of the Chihuahuas.
I didn't see this in the production text.
Comic book
review.
Comic book
like
review.
Well, not like that, but like.
That's because it was not in the production text, Joe. This is literally like Moses and I producing on the fly because we're under the impression that we're just talking about a Yule log and that's all. And then, of course, Mo all of a sudden got inspired and was like, you know what, actually, why would Jay tell us to watch something that's not content? All of a sudden, he feels different and decides to send me out on my merry way, like doubting my friend of however many years, of forever years. He's like, you know what? You know Joe and his crazy ideas, and I'm like, you know, you're right. Jay does have crazy ideas.
He like, and look, and it was after like I literally told him like, we're talking about that thing Joe said. Like, dude, that's just the Yule on fire. Like, you know, the digital thing they put on YouTube. You know,
right?
And then,
that's exactly right.
Then my brother comes and they have a whole conversation of one of Larry's most traumatic experiences of coming of age and how you're part of it. And then he's like, yeah, Joe just walked in to watch a Yule log on fire. You know, where it's like he literally lived that traumatic experience with you and you guided him through it. And he's like, I'm not gonna trust him. It's just Yule log on fire. I'm gonna trust this guy that all we do is get drunk and get in trouble. I'm trust this guy.
Wait, but the funny thing is, it wasn't even like a trust issue with Joe. It was just more like, I thought Mo watched it already. So he saw it already. I'm like, oh, okay. Mo watched it. He's like, it's just a Yule log. It's like YouTube. I was like,
problem is,
okay.
I had watched like 5 Yule logs already, just Yule logs, period. Because that's what I do on Christmas. Just so another Yule log. And even when he said it in the production text, I'm like, "Is it on HBO Max?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh wow!" Like, I didn't think it would be on HBO Max because it was just a Yule log on fire. Yeah,
I was
but then I'm
fully prepared to go watch it later today on HBO Max, and I did not because Moses was like, "No, it's just Viola. That's it." Yeah.
that's like,
And
yeah.
as far as traumatic experiences, Jay, I don't know if you even remember. Well, you probably do remember, but when we got followed in that Circuit City by that security guard, I was telling them
I do
about that.
remember that.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, I was like, that was my first memory of institutionalized racism. And I was like, I didn't even know what was happening. You had to explain it to me. And I was telling them
Right.
that, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, man,
And it was funny
I
because
was
you
like, that's my
noticed
boy.
it first. Like,
Well, I noticed him following us, but I didn't know why.
You didn't know why.
Yeah.
But then but I knew why. And then we
And
started staring at him, and he was like, "What?" Like, trying
But
to
you said something
intimidate
to
us.
him.
No, we just stared at him.
I remember you saying something to him, but I don't remember what. But maybe I just made that up.
No, I thought we just stared at him.
I definitely stared at him.
Yeah.
I thought you said something, which I was like, but maybe I'm wrong. But I was just like, it's crazy, man. Like, yeah, insane.
And
anyway,
that's why I told you, Joe, you got to hang out with my brother, because we're like, we're explaining you to my brother because that brother I don't think has met you, and
We're explaining you.
I'm like,
We're
yeah,
explaining
because
the essence of Jay.
when you talk about Jay, you got to talk about how he is, because the punchline, what he says when he finally says something, is you only get that unless you know who Jay is, and my brother is like Jay, but loudmouth. Like, he says everything that's in his head really loud, whereas Jay just holds back and tells his friends, like, once the event happens. My brother will do it right in the moment. Like, it's his polar opposite. Like, I think even their skin tones are probably like directly polar opposite.
it's
My brother's
kind of
like
true
white as
too.
diet. Yeah.
Yeah.
The hair, the head shape, everything. Like, Jay's my brother from a oh yeah. Night of the Chihuahua. Yeah, that's the reason why we're not. It wasn't in the production text, because it's like, well, look, I read this book. I was gonna do it as a one shot. I don't have the time to edit it or shoot it, so let me just talk about it. And he happened to be there while I had the comic book. I'm like, Larry, here, take it. If you can read it, read it. I doubt he even read it. If he didn't watch the Yule log, he probably didn't even read that. But
how dare you? How dare you? You told me not to watch the Yule log, and I read Night of the Chihuahuas, you son of a bitch. Look, not only did I read Night of the Chihuahuas, but this fool was like, then you got to go and watch the trailer for friggin' Day of the Animals. And I watched the trailer for Day of the Animals.
And I know you already.
There's a Night of the Chihuahuas movie.
Yes, there is a Night of the Chihuahuas movie. Yeah. Yes, there is.
Oh shit!
But why wouldn't you watch that trailer?
I didn't know that existed. I'm sorry.
I don't know that they're related.
Oh shit!
I'm pretty sure they are. Like, the thing is a horror.
Yeah, and
but it would not surprise me if the person that made the comic didn't know that the movie existed.
And we actually talked to the guy that created it, because I had a whole thing. So here's the thing: I found that comic through the algorithm. It's the one time. This is like, for me, in the 15 years or so that I have Instagram. It's the one time it felt like I connected with artists that wanted to connect to me, like, perfectly. It just worked. It was a sponsored ad on my page, and it said Night of the Chihuahuas booth here, LA Comic Con, and they paid for their post to be boosted, and I got it, and it's the perfect, like, melding. Like, I want that. I love what I call eco terror, eco horror movies. Like, I love that. Like, it's like a zombie movie, but it's just animals attacking people. Like, I love that. And I replied to the ad like right in the comments like I'm in. I'll see you there. And he's like, yeah. And then so when Larry and I went to LA Comic Con, like I stopped. I wasn't actively looking for the ad or for the booth, even though the ad said where the booth is. But I recognized the image that popped up on my feed, and I'm like, "Oh, Larry, we got to stop here." And we talked to him. He didn't say nothing about no movie. Yeah,
Yeah, you
but
might be right. It might be unrelated.
yeah,
Maybe. I don't know.
yeah. Well, look, we might have to review Night of the Chihuahua too. In fact, I might do a panel on WonderCon with just these two people. Like, hey, who came up with it first? What the fuck? Like, who owes who money?
Actually, no.
I'll be
You know what? No. I'm
I'll
sorry.
be
I'm looking
Judge
at it.
Judy. Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I think it is the same.
Oh, okay.
That's wild. Hold
I don't
on.
even know like the creative team on the book. I don't even know off the top of my head because Larry has the books.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I can tell you that. Hold on.
Yeah. You don't even have the books on
It-
you like that. Like, man, that's how you see my comics. Like, you just left them somewhere.
I just left them somewhere.
I paid those.
oh,
They're like
oh.
$10. They're $10 a
I
piece.
was like, wait a minute. I think they're on the porch. Hold on. No. It's like, wait a minute.
They're
Hold on.
$10 a piece.
I left them by the mailbox. Hold on. I'll be right back.
But yeah, and yeah, we did talk to the guy. He didn't mention anything about a movie, but what it is, it's basically it's a horror comic about when Chihuahuas just go wild and start killing people. And heck, this is the second comic I review that takes place in Tucson. This one takes place in Tucson too, and neighboring little areas. And it's basically
Chihuahua
Chihuahua
variant cover.
Oh, dude. So the variant covers are all done in classic horror movie style. So there's like a kaiju one. We got to see ones that aren't out yet, just the artist renditions of it. There's like a kaiju one. There's a Dracula one, shit like that. But the story itself, it does follow a group of people surviving a Chihuahua attack, kind of like Night of the Living Dead. And they're kind of on the road too. And everywhere they go, the Chihuahuas are attacking. And one of the people they save has a Chihuahua, so they don't know if they should trust them or not. But he's like, apparently there was some scientific thing. Like I'm on issue 2, they haven't really revealed the real cause of things, and the comic book does start off like telling you that there's a cause, and they'll tell you what the cause is, which is something that I could have done without. Because
Wait,
I like
when does the book tell you that?
No, they kind of allude to like there's a scientist that was experimenting.
Oh, got you. Yeah.
So they don't say that's the cause, but you can infer it the way that it's written. It could not be it, but that's fine. Maybe he's finding a cure for something else. But it does like kind of give you a sense of there's an origin. Not enough mystery like The Walking Dead. Like those early these first 2 issues and the first 2 issues of Walking Dead totally different when it comes to what you're dealing with, and that's what I kind of felt like this did have the OG Walking Dead feel, just with Chihuahuas. And I'm a fan of the movie The Happening. I love that. I love not having the answers, and it just does what it does. I love it. Day of the Animal, Larry. Like you watch that movie, that trailer.
I did.
That's one of my favorite. I as a genre movie, I put it as a zombie movie because it's just zombie stuff. It just happens to be animals,
Did you watch Zombies?
Zombies, I haven't seen. What's that?
Zombie animals at a zoo, or it start attacking people.
I'm in.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Is it on Shudder?
I believe it is.
Okay.
Or if it's not on Shudder, it's on the Asylum.
The Asylum. Okay. All right. I'll check that out. Yeah, I'm all for it. Like I love it already. Like just the way you said it, I'm in 5 out of 5. But But yeah, like the happening, Day of the Animal, even the day after tomorrow, like to me is kind of like that too. Like it's that nature horror. I watched a movie about them getting killed by mushrooms in the Amazon, and that was fucking amazing because it was psychedelic as fuck too. Like I wish I had some mushrooms when I watched it. But yeah, this one really does that. As far as the comic book goes, like the execution of it definitely has like an independent comic feel, but it's still well done. The dialogue, it could be a little refined, but dialogue itself is hard, whether it's a movie or comic or anything. It definitely gives you, and I think that's kind of what I like about comics too. Even when it's bad, that you get a sense of who's writing it, you know, and through the way they choose to have their characters speak. Kind of like when the Miles Morales Thor did the Hammer Time and all that. Like, you know, like they make a judgment on that writer based on those decisions, and then that's how I felt with this one. It's like, okay, he's this type of dude, and I'm cool with it. Like that's the story I'm getting. Um, I do love the art. The art is very serviceable. Like it's very in. It's a step above what you expect from independent art, and the actual comic book, the way it's printed, is well done. It's well put together. If they need a Kickstarter to get the other 6 issues out or however they need, I'm willing to pay for it right off the bat. I want to see the rest of it. And yeah, it's a Night of the Chihuahuas. I really like, but I also like Chihuahuas a lot more than people. So
There it is.
I like when people put their comics on Comixology so I can read them.
That's what Jay's looking for.
Is Night of the Chihuahuas on it or no?
Nah, I tried to find it so I could read it real quick.
Okay,
but it's not there.
There's videos coming from us from LA. I'm still editing stuff, so there's stuff coming. I don't think we even filmed the Night of the Chihuahuas guy talking about it, but there's a whole comic book universe where I asked the guy, like, part of the interview was like, hey, can I buy it digitally? And he's like, yeah, I'll sell it to you right now. Give me your email. Just give me this much money in this email. I'll send it to you right now. So he has it ready to go digitally direct from him. And I know, like, that's not your favorite because you go through Comixology, but that's the best answer we could ever get at a convention. It's like, I'll sell it to you right now. Yeah,
right.
What the fuck? Yeah. So
that is a interview good convention answer.
That interview will be up. And I think I am gonna just go all in. I bought he made a Blu-ray, he made a movie, so I bought the Blu-ray of that. And I think I'm all in on his comic universe too. So I'll probably just buy all of it, and we get to review at least some of it here. But that video should be up not tomorrow, because tomorrow is Oz's package, Double Team. His
team.
Yeah, well, look, you're only gonna get half of his package because the other half is uncensored, and you can't do uncensored on YouTube. So
that video's not out. Oh shit!
Yeah. The good parts aren't there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she broke in that. Well, I talk about how she
already. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
It's in the video. It's in the video.
Yeah.
Cool.
Go ahead, Larry.
The writer is David Quiroz Jr., and the artist is R.C. Torres for issue 1 and most of issue 2, and then Albert Morales kind of finishes up issue 2. So also too, like, I know that, like, Mo actually got this cover, which is pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, my brother, when he saw it today, he's like, man, I love that.
Yeah, no, that's a kick-ass cover, and then that's for issue 1, and then he got this one for issue 2. So
I do like that one.
Yeah, no, they're both like pretty cool covers. Yeah, I guess I got to do that. They're both pretty cool covers. But what I will say is, at the booth, they had a white skull and a black skull cover
Yeah, I
that
like
I really,
those.
yeah, I'm gonna show them so that the people can see them real quick, because I know for me, I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome, and just as a set, I was just like that's awesome there, and that's the of course the white skull cover, and then the black skull cover is this one. Da, da, da. So when you put them next to each other, it's a great presentation. Like,
Yeah.
having one then the other. So, and that was like how it was presented at the booth, where it was like, so you have like the white skull on one hand side and then the black skull on the other. And I was like, that alone, I'm like, I'm sure people buy books just to get those, you know? Um,
I would have if I hadn't seen my Chihuahua be like run over and have his skull split open.
no, well, yeah, that's a good reason not to do it, Mo. Like,
Yeah.
no need to traumatize yourself, right? Like,
Too late.
but
Too
as
late.
far as right? As far as the book itself goes, it definitely has like the indie comic kind of feel to it, and I was hoping for more, just because, like, speaking to the writer, I definitely felt as though there would, like, it seemed as though he had a story to tell, and it's like, this is definitely a story. It's just like, I think that execution wise, it could have just been better. I know how hard it is to get comics made from an independent standpoint, so it's hard to knock people in regards to like production value and printing. Like, I mean, it's like all that. Like, comics are expensive to make, and it's hard to get somebody to commit to like drawing your book. Hence why even issue 2, like I said, like, he had to get somebody else to finish it. I don't know what happened to the other artists, but obviously something happened, and like the last like few pages of the book, there's a marked change in the art style or whatever. But I'm hoping it, like, I'm interested to find out what's going on, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, the writing isn't as solid as I would have hoped. But it's one of those things where if someone handed me issue 3, I would definitely read it. Just to kind of be like, oh,
How do you feel like if issue 1 and 2 were a little bit more consolidated in just one issue?
I mean, that could help, but I think my issue more so is the actual writing. Like you said, like, dialogue can be hard, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I would prefer to read dialogue that doesn't feel like it's hard. Like, and obviously it's like there's only so many. Like, here's the thing, like, I don't want it to feel, or I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to just like dump on the writer here, because realistically, like, it's funny because you and Mo can corroborate this. I was just talking to him today about Extreme X-Men. Like, Extreme X-Men, they put out a new version of Extreme X-Men, like Extreme X-Men #1, that basically kind of continues where the series left off in like the 2010s or whatever, right? Or the early 2000s. And it's Chris Claremont and Salvador LaRocca, like, actually doing Extreme X-Men. And I was reading this Extreme X-Men like, man, like, neither one of these dudes are like doing their best work in this book. Like, so if I'm, it's like, I'm putting this in the same place where I put Chris Claremont writing X-Men in 2022 right now, where I'm just like, it just doesn't feel right. It feels a little off. And it's unfortunate because I want it to be better. Like I want to read this and enjoy it, and especially considering like like the aesthetic. Like when you look at that cover, you know that the aesthetic is there. Like somebody has an idea, and these little killer chihuahuas are like kind of crazy and interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like the idea, the concept is something that I'm like, I'm in. Why I'm down for why are these little chihuahuas so vicious and able to like rip people apart? But even if you don't want to tell me why and you just want it to be like that's just the case, I'd be down for that story too if you can give it to me in a compelling way. Like it's weird because there's like a whole I guess it's not that weird, but like there's the main I don't know if you want to the main character in the beginning runs into a police officer and he's talking to her trying to like tell her like, hey, something crazy is happening, I need some help, and she like totally freaks out on him and like ends up like pepper spraying this dude for no good reason. And so it's like, black? Okay, he's Latino.
Okay.
But he's fair-skinned Latino.
He's off black.
That's why it was just pepper spray.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the whole thing where it's wild because like the way she reacts, and I guess this is me sitting here saying like the way she reacts in some ways doesn't feel true to life, but in other ways, yeah. Like if he was black, it would make more sense. Where like, just got scared for no reason, you know what I'm saying? But like the dude, like literally is like, hey, I'm a cop. Like because he's a cop as well. He's transferring into that.
He's off duty
neighborhood. Yeah, right. Yeah. He's literally moving into the town. He's trying to like he stops at a gas station, and bad things happen, and he's trying to tell the cop like, hey, there's some craziness going down back here. And when he tells her the terrible stuff that's happening, she just pepper sprays him. And it's just like, what? Like, why did that? Like, that's weird, man. And the crazy part is the Chihuahuas come and she's like, drive. You just pepper sprayed the man, like literally right in his eyes. And that's what happened. Like, it's literally him driving, like, like, and I'm just like,
he was just like, you told me to get out of the car. Like, he's like, you told me not to drive. Yeah.
Right. It's like, it's weird, man. Yeah. And so I don't know. Like, it's just, it's not doing it for me, unfortunately, from a writing or an art perspective. It's more, it has me here for the concept. And there's enough there that I'm like, I'm interested. I'm interested. But it's one of these things where, like, this almost feels like it could be like a first pass. Like, it would not shock me if they did Night of the Chihuahuas, like a reboot or redo, remake, and you do another version of this, and it's better.
They should do an animated series.
And the thing is, the way that when I was talking to the dude, the way that he envisions it, like it can. Like you can have multiple different stories, like just a different town with different characters. Salvador LaRocca could draw it. And that's just the way it is. It's like it's a Chihuahua apocalypse, and
apocalypse. As it happens every so often.
I'm in for the concept, and I enjoyed the execution a little better than Larry did, but I did have similar gripes. Even like the whole pepper spray thing, like I felt like, okay, they're trying to do a little social commentary, but the story isn't conducive for that right here, and like if they were to do that type of commentary later on when they interact with other people, it would probably play a little better. I felt that when I read it initially, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, ultimately, like I do feel like the issues were a little shorter than I would like them to be for the price, because that's part of it too.
Yeah.
We're paying for these. Yeah, and if issue 1 and 2 were just one book, I think I would have enjoyed it better. Not that I don't mind paying independent artists for it, but it's like I could have bought more stuff if this was one issue. You know, you got a shirt with that logo, like that Chihuahua skull on it. I'll get that. I'll wear that on the show. Like I'm always looking for wardrobe to wear on this because you know I always wear graphic tees, so definitely like if I can get that with a shirt bundle, you know. But yeah, it is one of those things where I want to see the full story still. So hopefully they'll do a something digital trade paperback.
And I do
Yeah.
I
Go
do
ahead,
agree
Larry.
with you on the page count. Even though again, like fully acknowledging how expensive it is to make comics and print them out. It's like, you know, I didn't really want to like I didn't want to like really push the whole thing because I do know that aspect of things, but at the same time it's like it's literally like I think one of them is like maybe 15 pages
Yeah.
and the other one is like maybe 16 pages.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and it's no there are no ads or anything in the book obviously. And
Yeah.
so it's like literally just like, you know, like one book is like 8 pages like front and back, you know? And so it's just one of those things where
It's
it's
almost like
like
Ashcan status in a sense. Like this is the intro, but I paid for it, which I'm happy to do it, but I'm also
yeah,
gonna give you my opinion on it too. You know?
right. You don't want to feel like you're getting less
Yeah.
than what you should be getting.
Yeah.
And
Do you have a
so in
URL?
that sense, huh?
Anybody Hex says I'm gonna have to read it to make sure it's accurate because it takes place in Tucson. So
Yeah.
if you guys got a URL, we can post it on in the comment section in Twitch comments. But yeah, look,
The URL to the book?
yeah, if it or the website where you can get it. I don't know if they sell.
Oh yeah, no, I got the website. Hold on.
I, okay,
Yeah, but and I'll put it in the chat.
Larry.
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
It was 11. There's this whole thing that if I scroll my mouse over it, it gives me the weather, and it's like I don't need the fucking weather for my fucking PC. You know, I have an app for that on my fucking phone. This new Windows 11 fucking sucks, dude. Like, I'm gonna go full Mac. Like, I'm just gonna get a Mac PC, you know, Mac computer next. Like, I'm done with this shit. I got ads in my ads.
That sucks. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't hear
So what would
where you with me, but as far as rating goes, like yeah, I would give it a. I like it with its flaws still. I'll give it a 4, a 3.75, 4 out of 5. Like, it's still like the execution of it is still well done. It's just when it comes, especially to these like nature horror movies, it's like yeah, they're not gonna be good. There's very few. Like they're not gonna be pieces of cinema like how you would expect them to be, but you're gonna
Right.
enjoy them, and that's what Day of the Animal was. That's what that one fungus movie that I can't remember the name of was, and even The Happening, like critically, The Happening got berated, like they didn't like it, and
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
movie. And when you see it within the eco horror
Mhm.
subgenre of it, it's like a masterpiece, you know. So yeah, I like for me in that like scale of things, even with its flaws, it's still about a 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Day of the Animal, by the way, stars Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. No, that he's in it, and he's great in it because he's given
Yeah.
like it's definitely you. If you when you watch that movie, he's giving a performance of his life there, and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like he was young because I watched him be like Dave. Was it um not Davy Jones, but like Davy Crockett. Like I watched him as
Mm-hmm.
Davy Crockett, like doing like a real actor's job, and then you watch him being, Dracula Dead and loving it. Like it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Naked Gun, like all I
Right.
love the
Yeah.
and then but Day of the Animal, like he's literally like selling like these rats are gonna kill us. Like and I think the part where he's in, and that's how good the movie is. When I think of that movie, I don't even think of him, even though I love him.
Right.
But
Right.
it's about like the terror that the people feel when all of a sudden these pack of like stray dogs just jump in your car and kill you and your kids and everybody you love.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. Like I do like I mean I have my own theories with nature. Like nature is trying to kill us. We're throwing off the
Yeah.
balance. And that's
Yeah.
the one that makes more sense. Things like
Yeah.
the happy or Day of the Animal, and I wish they would
Yeah.
happen even more often. Just to
As for
nobody to
me, as for me, I'd have to give Night of the Chihuahua, I think, like 2.5 out of 5. Like, I just didn't like it as much. I like the concept way more than the actual execution. But I'd give it another shot. Hopefully, it'll get better. It seems like they're probably gonna have a new artist for issue 3, so we'll see.
Yeah, I would like if they could lock down the whole series on Kickstarter. Like I'd be down and just have a consistent
Hmm.
art style and maybe pay for an editor a little bit. Like
Yeah.
like the not it wasn't so much what the characters were saying that was bad, is how they were saying it.
Hmm.
And
Right.
even like the pacing, like the paneling. Like you could do less panels and say the same thing in some of
Hmm.
these pages. And with a 15-page comic, like it's already like you don't want to like you know it almost felt like they were stretching out panels to a certain degree. And it's like, no, like if you can do this whole story in 2-3 books, like let's do the whole story and then move on to the next thing you got. Like let's see
Right.
what you have in your brain.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Um, have you all heard or watched um Station 11?
No.
Never heard of it.
You might want to consider checking that out. It's a mini series on what is Station 11 on? I think it's on HBO Max actually. So, but it definitely has some nature horror ish kind of, well, maybe not nature horror is not the right way to say it, but because it's a movie about the world ending.
Okay.
But yeah, it has like a few different, like some of the themes that we've been talking about that you were just mentioning, Mo, that you like are
Yeah.
in that. But I feel like it's a really good human kind of story, and I think all of us would probably find parts of it that
I'm
we
out.
would enjoy.
I'm out. I don't like human stories.
You don't like human story? There it is.
Mm.
F the humans.
Okay.
Yeah,
Station 11, huh? Right.
yeah.
Have you
Station
watched
11.
Housing Complex C yet?
No, I have not. I need to mess with that. And
I know.
hateful.
And what?
Oh, sorry. No, what's it called? This fool.
What? Oh, this fool. Yeah. You
This
gotta
fool.
watch that
I need
too.
to watch. I need to watch this
Yeah.
fool.
Yeah, you'll like it, but it's not gonna resonate with you like Housing Complex C.
Oh, okay.
Jay, did
Okay.
you watch Housing Complex?
Not yet. I own it though, so I'm ready to watch it at
Oh,
any point.
it's on HBO
Hmm?
Max. You don't need to own it.
No, I needed to own it.
How much was it?
I don't remember, $20 maybe.
Because I mean, I believe it's only 4 episodes.
You think?
The way it ended, like I thought it was over at episode 3, and then they still had an episode 4, and then nothing's come out since.
That's
It's strange, right?
well. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
I thought there was more.
it felt like there should have been more, and then all of a sudden, episode 3 took this wild turn, and then episode 4 like locked it in, like end of Evangelion style, and I'm like, oh shit. And then that's it. Like there hasn't been any more new episodes for like 3 months.
Well, I don't have
So,
I don't have what you call it at the moment anyway. So
Okay.
buying it was fine.
Okay.
Although it's interesting, like they finally made it available, HBO Max on Amazon.
Oh,
So
nice.
like it's a channel that you can subscribe to now.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's only 4 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the new guy thought it was a good idea. So it's cool but disappointing. Like I wish they had done it when I was still watching it. Like that would have been awesome to have it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm not watching it, now they make it available.
And that's the thing, like this new guy, and look, I know we got like 3 minutes left, Jay, but please, like, I do want to hear your thoughts. And now I'm speaking contemporaneously to run out the clock to make sure you stay. But when we talk about like this whole James Gunn thing, like that's a product of this guy too, right? Like that's almost like a weird passive aggressive way of handling superheroes, the way that he's handling animation. Don't you think?
Did he put James Gunn in charge? No, I think that was still on the Warner Brothers side. He mostly contributes to production and distribution.
Yeah.
But like the actual producing of it, like he doesn't control like who does what. So that's still on Warner Brothers.
My theory is from a business standpoint. Yeah, from my business savvy, is like if you're gonna like, you got to shake things up and you got to take chances. Like especially when you make an investment like that, it's like, okay, how is this gonna make me money? And we're watching it happen now in real time with Ticketmaster, because these fucking Saudis bought it at December 2019, and then COVID happened and they lost their fucking money. And now we're having all these weird bots, and those Taylor Swift fans are crying because they can't get tickets, and shit like that. And they're creating tiers, kind of like how Elon is doing with Twitter. And it's like it's desperation moves, and like the behavior I'm looking at from Ticketmaster and from HBO and Warner's now and Discovery and even Elon, like it seems the same. It's like these people made bad investments and they're trying to like creatively make more money where there's no more money to be made,
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Elon thing is weird. Like that is, yeah. But as far as Warner Brothers Discovery, I think like he doesn't have his hands in everything, just like the outer points. Because you still got Warner Animation. Like he did cut a lot of shit off, but the stuff he didn't cut, Warner Animation is like he's not controlling that directly. And I did hear, I don't know if we talked about this or not, but it looks like Warner Animation is going to be moving some of their properties to Amazon.
I know
So,
that.
Huh?
yeah, that's interesting.
Look, here's the beauty of it. I pay for all of these fucking apps, so it's a win-win for me. The only thing I can't get is fucking Yellowstone because of these fucking cocksuckers doing bad fucking deals, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, the head
But
of
to me,
Paramount fucked up, and now I can't get Yellowstone on Paramount Plus.
yeah, it's all strange and it's all interesting.
What are you gonna say, Jay? Before I interrupted you? You were gonna say something before I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't remember.
That's good. I got you here past the 2 hour mark, so I'm happy.
No, I'm not gonna let it slide. Not for long, but yeah.
Fuck that 3 hour show. Fuck it. We got Jay here.
In any case, yeah, it's all really weird. It's all really interesting. Watching everyone kind of scramble. It sucks, all the people that are getting fucked over.
Yeah.
Especially with animation. And animation is kind of taking a hit, not just with Warner Brothers, but like
across
all the streaming services are pretty
Yeah.
much fucking over their
Yeah.
animation right now.
Yeah. Paradise PD just got canceled. Their 4th season's coming out, and that's the last season. Like they're like, I don't even think about it. And it's on Netflix. Netflix usually does shit on short form anyway, but it's still like if people are watching it and they want more, like really, who you're screwing over is the consumer, because there's an audience for a lot of these things, and with streaming, it's a lot easier to reach your audience.
I'm not gonna lie, I am okay with Paradise PD getting canceled.
Dang,
Like,
the one animated show Joe's like, we're better off without it.
it's just I'm tired of watching it. Like,
damn,
like
you're like no more.
It's so bad. Like it's such a bad show.
It is,
and it really does hit me. Like I could watch it. Like I could watch seasons forever, but it's so bad that it might be better off if it's not around.
If they would give me maybe like an animated feature twice a year, I'd be in. With the way the humor goes with Paradise PD, like an episode thing, like even Big Mouth. Like I love Big Mouth, but after like 3 seasons, I think I'm good. I don't need to watch no more Big Mouth.
I disagree with that. I like Big Mouth.
Yeah, I can do more. The thing is, the characters, there's a lot they could do with the individual characters, which
but
Paradise PD, you can't. Everyone is one note.
Right, like I felt like I watched Brickleberry and I went to Paradise PD, and then even like I'm hesitant. I haven't watched Farzar yet, but it's the same dude.
I haven't seen that yet, but I hear it's the same shit.
Yeah, I'm like
So
I'm not trying to go to that either.
If I start, I'm probably am gonna, like, when I have access, I probably am. And it's gonna be terrible. And I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
Look, there it is. Heck says it all. God damn. You know when Jay ain't for you, you ain't shit. Dang, heck. But that's what's real.
And that's the thing, like that dude, like, yeah, I ran into him in comic conventions and shit, and
nothing against him. Like,
no, like fuck him. Yeah, fuck
honestly,
him. Wait, why's it gotta be
for someone to be able to make the exact same show 3 times?
Yeah,
it is impressive.
Like he jokes about it when you talk to him about it. He jokes about it too. Like I'm just doing the same shit, and I'm getting paid.
I don't know if like Mayor, I think you think I'm being facetious, but they're almost literally the exact same show.
Really?
And they actually do a crossover episode between the two shows so you can see everyone, like the archetypes.
Your counterpart.
Yeah, like it's the
That's
exact,
hilarious.
the setting is just a little different, but everything, like it is like
It's like Paradise
PD
PD is
is
like Miami.
Brickleberry in a city.
Yeah,
It,
and Brickleberry is
like,
in the country.
Damn near literally the exact same show.
That's crazy.
The humor is the same. Some of the characters I think are the same. Like the guy
voice
with the redneck with the hat. I think he is that same guy.
Yeah. That's the dude that was it Rich? I forget his name. Something Black. I know him as Yucko the Clown, but he's that he does the voice of those characters. And
right. And I actually did hear Farzar is a little different, but not different enough to be considered its own thing.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll see.
Yeah. Like, if it was worth the effort, I could definitely get you to watch. Like, should get you to watch one episode of each show.
Look, according to
see,
Larry,
like how exactly the same they are.
According to Larry, we can have a whole
really
thesis.
Not worth the X.
We could make whole video series about Farzar and Paradise PD from Nia, because she loves both of those.
Yeah, she watches. She's watched all of both of them, as far as I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She ain't gonna get on no mic.
Well,
Way to start this show.
Speaking of Nia, I was watching a movie the other day and I thought of her. It's called Margot. It's about a smart house where the AI decides to become the first AI serial killer.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Margot.
I would kind of want, like, Nia's. I know she doesn't watch horror, though. But I would like to hear her, like,
opinion on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be in our panel. I'm starting up a panel with Nia, and you could be on there too.
What's it called? AI will kill you.
Well, tell me how AI won't kill me. Is it really? Because I really think like me, it's the next step in evolution is to really turn AI into man's best friend, like domesticated, like we did the wolves into dogs, and I don't think humanity is savvy enough, or like humanity itself as a whole is too narcissistic to even think of, like, maybe we need to like adapt to this and them adapt to us so that cohesively we can live together. Like, I think we're past that point, and either people don't care and AI is doing this thing and we're fucked. And we're gonna watch ourselves be fucked for the next 50 years.
I know exactly how it's gonna happen. With all these people talking about uploading their consciousness to a computer. First of all, not really. You're creating an AI that will make decisions like how you made decisions. So first of all, you did. Second of all, if you're an asshole, and then you upload your consciousness and it becomes an AI, the AI is going to be an asshole. They're going to put the AI in a body because that's how you've been brought back to life. Guess now we have killer AIs. And then Terminator. We don't need no Skynet. We just need some.
It turns out putting a fucking desert eagle in your mouth is the best option from this point forward. You don't need to see anything else. Let's just fucking kill. No, it does. It does. Because I have a big head. I have a strong cranium. It needs to go through. Like, it needs to, like, my face needs to be unrecognizable for me.
Like, Jay's a military man. He can tell you what calibers will do what to your melon.
I was never really that, I didn't study that. But I did hear an interesting story. I did hear a very interesting story about someone shooting themselves in the head. And
me too.
It was interesting because this guy, he had like life crippling OCD, and he basically like decided like he can't live anymore. Like he's gonna end it. He shot himself in the head, destroyed the part of the brain that causes OCD. Basically survived. They got as much of the bullet out as they could, and now he's living a normal life.
There you go. Bullet to the brain cures OCD.
I mean, normally they do shit. What's that? Where they used to the cure all, the old cure all.
The lobotomy.
Yeah, like if you have OCD, they can do a lobotomy to like help you. But I guess he didn't know about that, and
well,
he's
I think generally
self-lobotomized.
they don't do it now. That was what they did before, but it was barbaric, so they stopped doing it now because they used to do it on women and slaves and people that were considered property. And now that people aren't considered property, they're like, "Oh, that's barbaric. We can't do that."
I thought they did still.
What
Like
are
if it's bad enough.
one of the most
They don't
I mean, at
see
the very least, they'll use like a laser or something, right?
or electrodes, like the short circuiting of the brain thing. But even that is considered barbaric now too.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know.
one of the most
Anyway.
messed up,
And now with big pharma, they just give you a pill. It's like just as good.
Chemical lobotomy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna take off.
No,
We should
Jay.
all go.
Hey.
Let's give us some.
No,
Look,
no.
play the music so you can give us some final thoughts on Holy Week.
I'm having such a good time.
Thank you, Jay. Final thoughts.
So for social media, mostly I'm on Twitter. At J_random, I think. And with the whole Elon apocalypse, a lot of people are following, like finding more new people to follow for like all the people that have exodus. And one person's followed me today, and the name is something that I don't want to say on air, just because I know where you want to monetize at some point, and I don't need the clip taken out of context.
I rather have a true show than monetization.
Right. Well, anyway, like I kind of want to block this guy on like GP, but I'm like not really into blocking people. But now I got this guy with this name following me, and I'm like,
I want to know.
I'm not sure what I should do. Like, yeah, like I'm not private. Like you can see who follows me.
Is it Mo_Magnum?
No, no, I could say Mo Magnum.
Are you following him?
No, I'm not gonna follow. Like,
Well, then you're good.
okay. Like, I'm careful.
This is the first one that comes up.
Yeah, like I don't want to. Like it's, yeah. So I don't. Yeah, I was wondering, but it's just if I'm not following him, then it's fine. Then fine. I'm pretty selective about who I follow. Like, I think I only follow like one problem person.
I'm sorry.
Is that Mo_Magnum?
No, it's another guy. He's one of those cartoon people, and he's a furry. So,
poor Burr.
Is it Moses_Magnum?
You can, Jay, I think you could say that name.
I can, but I don't. It's like I'm a different person than I was last year. Like last year, I would have just said it, but
just to be clear, it's not "fuck you, bitch." 09338419.
No.
It's more offensive. Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about, but I'm also teasing the audience. Now, if you pay for Patreon, we'll say it on Patreon.
I will say it on Patreon.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Hell, I'll say it. I just don't want the clip isolated. You know, sometimes
Yeah,
I
no, I
get
get
on the
it.
show and I say things in the moment, and they get isolated and played back at me. And it's funny, but it's wrong. So I'm going to try not to do that anymore.
Can I say it?
Yeah, you can say it.
Is it at Jews are pedos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He only has about like 5 tweets, and they're just anime pictures and manga pictures.
Right.
Nothing. No definitive evidence. But yeah.
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 For heck, this is the second one.
Oscor, final thoughts.
Bunch of videos coming soon. A lot of disappointment. Except for her, not disappointed. And if you want to see her naked, coming soon.
Oh, okay.
Not to YouTube because they're all censorious. I'm like, we can't even mention Twitter names.
I can.
Most Magnum, final thoughts.
I said,
what?
that second part of his package, it's actually set as a premiere. I don't know who's gonna be online to comment with you, but we're gonna be able to watch it together and talk to each other while Oz is handling his package, and we watch him handle his package.
Like 5 minutes long. I already said.
It's not it's quality, not quantity.
Look,
Yeah. So it's there, and according to Twitch, they love it. You're a star on Twitch right now. I'm not Twitch. I'm sorry, TikTok. Sorry,
I'm a TikTok star.
Right.
The Chinese got me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
you're smelling your socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No, but that video's out already. Everybody watched that already. It's the other one.
I don't know why I did that. I honestly, I think they were used.
Yeah, that's what people love. I edited it so that you smelled it and then smiled when you said it was used, and they love it. Everybody loves it. They think you're reviewing used socks that you get in the mail.
And when I say used, they don't always go on your feet.
Hey, look, that's your next TikTok video. That's your next.
For the entire Fantastic Forum, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate y'all. We'll be back next week, maybe, if we don't get deplatformed. Oh, jeez. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We're the Fantastic Forum. Good night. Good night.
You gotta wait. I forgot that was me. I'm not normally here.
Good night.